Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Papa Powell is speaking at 9 a.m. Now, understand he's just giving an opening statement. What we're going to look for is when it gets to Q&A. So I'm thinking somewhere after the market opens, we'd look for the market to either explode upward or downward. I still think downward, and I'm going to share why. Atlanta's Fed Chair Bostic came out yesterday, and he said, we are not going to slow down in what we're doing to curb inflation. There's going to be no rate declines in 2023. Now, let's remember, analysts and Wall Street were thinking about second half of 2023, the rates might start declining. But no, the Fed is pretty stable in saying 5% is their target rate. We're going to talk about the SPY today. Now, understand how the SPY and how the market closed yesterday. We ended towards the low end of the day. So what was I expecting today? I was expecting a drop down. I was expecting more of a significant gap down. So I'm going to talk about the SPY levels on the dark pool. Let's get to the DEX levels. Yesterday, we saw a big red line, which we hadn't seen in a number of days. When we see a big red sentiment line like we did yesterday, it generally continues. So it generally goes out another day or two. So if anybody's in puts, and yesterday I mentioned my positions and how I plan to ride the elevator. Let's remember my Starbucks puts at opened. They went from red to green, back to red. I said I'm going to ride the elevator today. Where did Starbucks close? Towards the low end of the day. Those are the positions that I'm carrying over this morning. I'm also carrying over SPY puts. Remember yesterday, SPY was sitting at 393, and I said I was looking to enter SPY puts. I thought it could potentially go up to 395, but when I saw rejection at 393, I got involved with two sets of SPY puts, one that expired today that I sold for 30% profit rather than taking 200% because the market dropped. The other SPY puts, which expire on Friday, I am still holding because I was safer in that play. Okay, so let's just get into the SPY, the dark pool levels, what we could potentially see today. So I'm going to pull up Discord. I'm going to look at the dark pool levels. By the way, if you want to join our Discord, there should be a link below. What else is going on today? Romeo is going to do a live stream on public Discord that'll be broadcast on YouTube so everybody can watch Romeo and how he makes money. Remember, I don't like to trade between 9:30 and 10:30 a.m. Who likes to trade between 9:30 and 10:30 a.m.? Romeo. He's been killing it lately. He went into both sides yesterday, took a stop loss on one of the positions. The other position kept running. He made tons of profit. Everybody that followed made profit as well. Okay, so dark pool levels. Let's bring them up. Oh, here we go. Make them nice and large. I'm going to go over and make sure you guys can see this. You can. All right, so dark pool levels. Here we go. We're opening this morning under 387 or right around 387.04. Dark pool level could act as resistance if the market goes down. What would be the next level? 385, but there's not much volume there. So I'd really look for the 383.27 level. Again, that could be an exit strategy for me today. Market is ugly in the morning. I don't care if it's a 5-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute. If we see 383.27, we're probably going to see some sort of bounce off there higher, probably back to the 385 level. So if we hit 383.27, that's my exit strategy. What happens if we bounce back up? I will re-enter the similar positions. Okay, so again, dark pool levels. Let's go over it one more time. Let me just get back there. So we got 383.27. If we break down 383.27, where are we headed next? 381.38. Understanding if we closed at 387, 381.38 is like a 2% drop. So again, all my eyes, all my ears are going to be on Powell. When he speaks at 9 a.m., I'm sure we'll be shooting that live, and then I'm going to wait for the question and answer period because he's not specifically going to talk about the U.S. economy, but I'm assuming the question and answers will lead to rate hikes. So again, Fed Chair Bostic says they're not slowing down on what they're doing, their aggressiveness. He mentioned this yesterday, so that says to me hawkish. He says no rate decline in the second half of 2023, according to him. Well, that's counter to what we've been hearing from analysts on Wall Street that said they expected a rate decline by Q3 or Q4 of this new year. So if there's no decline, and he said he'd rather overdo it than underdo it. Then we hear Powell speaking about 5% is his key number that he's looking for. So that's still an aggressive, hawkish position. Again, I'll be paying attention to the Q&A. Here's an interesting thing. China reopening. China's been spiking of late. China finally slowed down yesterday. I think it went down 0.5%. Europe is struggling right now, waiting on the Fed's decision. Again, we have CPI numbers coming out on Thursday. So understand market direction right now as we see it could potentially continue until Thursday morning. If CPI numbers come in cool, then you could see the market reacting bullishly. If CPI numbers come in hot, we could see a continuation of a sell-off. So let's talk about open interest as far as puts and calls go. And again, I like to use Discord for this. I noticed yesterday morning there were more calls open than puts. What happened throughout the day? Well, first off, the calls sold off in the morning. They started buying put contracts. We saw the market go down. And then specifically, I was looking at a few different stocks and I noticed call contracts being sold rather than bought. So when you think a stock is going down and you're big money, what do? You're selling calls out of the money to bank the premium, to protect yourself against the downside movement. Downside movement, you're making money on the premium. It offsets the downside movement. So that's what I'm looking at. Another interesting point that I brought up multiple times is energy. So we're looking at energy. And again, I like to look at oil because if there's going to be a recession, oil generally goes down. If China's reopening, oil will go up. So oil went up slightly overnight, not any significant matter. Now, understand when oil was $86 a share, the XLE was around $88 a share. So now oil is at $74. So we're like $12 under on oil. And when I look at the XLE, and let me just find where it is, XLE, okay, we're $87 per share of the ETF. That ETF is still strong. Oil went down, $12, which is like 14% over the past week. And the XLE is holding its own. So I do believe that energy has to catch up. Now, people are saying if there is no recession, if we do have a soft landing, if there are reopenings, there will be future demand for oil. And I've heard analysts give a price target on oil. It's at $74 a barrel right now. They were saying $140 a barrel. It's not going to jump from 74 to 140. Those could be some institutions that are stuck in long oil positions. Interesting fact, Chevron, oil company, got a downgrade on a price target today. Same company that downgraded Chevron upgraded Exxon. So what does that tell me? It tells me they're probably stuck in an Exxon position. They probably realize that oil should struggle a little, and they're trying to get out of their position. That's just my thought process. Again, dark pool levels on the SPY, and then I will give you my bull case and bear case scenario. Dark pool levels on the SPY, let's bring it up one more time. Just give you the bull case scenario because I didn't throw that in there. The next level higher is 388. Okay, well, we're right around there. So 389, then 390. Okay, understanding the dark pool level, if we look at the high side here at 390, very small dark pool, 388, very small dark pool. Again, 387, small dark pool, 85, small dark pool. So where do I think we're going today? I see us going to 383, whether the market goes up or down the rest of the day. I do think we hit 383 in the morning, which would tell me that the SPY is going to be at least 1% down. Let's just see where we're at right now. Pre-market, we're at 385.92. Again, we were hovering right at 386. Let me just see if I can bring up that chart for you guys. Let me remove Discord. Again, if you'd like to join Discord, easy. There should be a link below. You sign up for Discord, you get my daily alerts. You get my videos, which I update throughout the day, giving you market direction. Let's remember, yesterday, market direction. What did I say? I thought the market would end right around 387.90, and I made that prediction with about 3 hours left in the day. So the market was sitting at 389, 390, and I'm saying I think we're ending at 387.90. That makes sense for me. I missed by 4 cents. 4 cents. It's like this much. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. Anyway, let's present. Let me add share screen. Let's go and bring up the SPY levels. Here we go. And make sure you guys can see those with me, which you can't yet. So we'll add it to the screen. I'll make myself pretty darn small. We'll go here. I pulled up a 4-hour chart. So when we're looking at the SPY and we're looking at rejection and support, again, I'm looking at this chart. I'm going down and I'm saying, okay, 383 level should be right around here. So we see a lot of tops in the 383 level. Tells me that 383 could potentially reject. And again, the next level down is going to be 379. So we're right around here where you see the bottom. We saw major support again. So if the market was going to have a bad day today and tomorrow, again, I'd be looking to get out around 379. I might have my position right at the 383 level. So again, I'm a bear. If I'm in bearish positions, I'm going to scale out my position when we get to 383. At 380 flat, I'm going to sell my full position. Again, that would tell me we're down 2% today. A lot is going to depend on Powell and how the market reacts. If they decide to buy up the dips today and we see the market go down to just under 385 this morning, so we're at 384 and change, we don't hit the 383.27 level, then that tells me, okay, if support's a little higher, that might tell me that they're going to buy up some of the dips. If they do that, and I'm currently in put positions, what will I do? I'm going to exit my positions. I'm going to let the market spike back up, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4 points at what I consider the top. When I see rejection again, I will re-enter the same positions. Again, find a trade that works for you, whether you're trading a single stock like a Microsoft, an Alibaba, a Netflix, whatever it is. Let's talk about Netflix real quick, because Netflix yesterday, there was like an internal fight. Netflix was red, then it was green, then it was red. So I'm looking at pre-market. I'm looking at a bunch of stocks and positions pre-market to give me some outlook on the day. So top of my list, Walmart. Why? Walmart sold off yesterday. It's a retail play. I'm looking for Walmart to come back down to 143 and change. It's opening at 145 and change. So I'm looking for like maybe a 1.5% drop today. Again, the SPY would have to be down double what it's down now. So it's down 0.5%. I'd look for the SPY to be dropping 1% today. I'm looking at Microsoft, which has had constant inflow for 2 straight days after a 3 straight day fallout. Microsoft could drop lower. Oh, great comment. I mentioned to Discord yesterday, Microsoft tends to reject at $230. So when Microsoft was trading at $231, what did I get into? 2 put contracts. Where did I sell? When Microsoft broke under $230, I said it shouldn't have support until maybe 226. And Microsoft is sitting this morning at 227 down pre-market. So pre-market, we're going to see it right at the 226 level. And they've been buying it up since pre-market at like 7:25 a.m. where it touched 226 flat. So again, Microsoft, key indicator. You're looking at 230. If it breaks 230, extremely bullish. If it breaks 226, extremely, can't repeat enough, bearish. So I'm watching Microsoft at 226. I have certain alerts set for certain stocks that tell me, again, I happen to be short Starbucks. Starbucks is at 104.11 pre-market. I was really looking for like 103, even less as a potential exit. Again, I have a feeling that whatever the market did yesterday, we'd likely see today, and we could see that potentially through Thursday morning when we have CPI numbers pre-market. Oh, for everybody that wants to join me, it's going to be 8:25 as we bring in the CPI numbers on Thursday. We'll bring it in together. We will break down the gas costs, energy, food costs. I mean, eggs are ridiculous. Eggs cost more than bacon these days. So there are some things that don't really make sense. We came to 2 stocks yesterday. They had a nice sell-off, Macy's and Lululemon. Again, they tend to rebound because they want to fill that crater. However, if you look at both companies, which were up 1.5% pre-market, they're now down 0.64%, 0.30%. Boeing, which had some struggles yesterday and dropped 2% to 208, again had continuation of sell-off pre-market, so that's at 203 right now. I'm watching because they're buying up the pre-market dip. But Boeing will be tied to airlines, will be tied to cruise ships, will be tied to some banks, will be tied to other Dow plays. So again, on my watch list right there. Netflix is on my watch list right here as well. Netflix, as I mentioned yesterday, which was struggling. It's a tech play. Doesn't have earnings till the 19th of this month, so we're out another week and a half. But again, pre-market is dropping 1.65%. Tesla, which was up pre-market, is now negative on the pre-market. We went as high as 121.99 this morning at 5 a.m. Again, a nice sell-off in tech. We're back down to around 119, which is still about 0.5% down. Again, Tesla could go down, revisit yesterday's lows, 117. If we break yesterday's lows on Tesla, again, extremely bearish sentiment, something I'm watching. Carnival, which is sprouted up. Carnival, which is a Dow play. Carnival, which has input or inflow, 6 out of the last 7 days. We're talking about Carnival under $8 is now $9.47. So you're talking about a 20% increase in 5 days of trading. We'll talk about Coinbase. I see the question on the side. But speaking about a Coinbase or a crypto stock, let's remember the stock I mentioned yesterday. And we started talking about the stock like a year ago. I've been following it. I don't have any position in it. But EBON, EBON, which is eBang, it's a Chinese company. It's a crypto-related play. It was at $2.80. Going into yesterday's morning, we were at $4.10. I mentioned I'm looking for another positive move for EBON. EBON from $4.10 went above $6 yesterday. So just if you joined me yesterday morning, that stock moved 42% to the upside yesterday, 50% from when I started talking about it. And if you look a few days back, it was $2.80. Now we're at $6 and change. So you're up over 100% from that. Again, I'm looking at airlines. Carnival's down 1.16 pre-market. Airlines 0.85. Apple, which had support at 125, rejected 130. We're sitting right at 130 pre-market, understanding that if Apple gets rejected today, Apple will take technology down. So Apple will take Microsoft, Apple will take Netflix, Apple will take Google down. I think Google was off pre-market as well. Other stocks that had major support yesterday, AMD, huge support, good volume yesterday. So here's what I noticed about the volume spectrum. Stocks that did well yesterday had stronger volume. Stocks that did lighter than average volume, and I'm talking about a Netflix, Apple, Google, Amazon even, it's like I don't really believe it. So I'm looking for stocks that have strong volume. It makes it more interesting for me. Okay, so let's go to some sides over here. Let's just see what we got here. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the like button. Good morning, everybody. Watch list is up on Twitter. Talking about electric bills. Not really interested there. Okay, here we go. Coinbase levels. Here's the interesting thing about Coinbase. We'll talk about Coinbase real quick. Gentleman that I saw get interviewed yesterday was asked about Coinbase and the whole crypto issue and the trust factors and the stability of crypto, understanding that Coinbase tends to lose $1 billion of value per quarter. $1 billion. That's why they take their revenues minus their expenses. They're down $1 billion. What are they doing? They're firing more of their staff for a second time in the last year. So people will like that. They'll say less expenses. However, when you fire people, you generally have to give them a severance package, which covers maybe 3 to 6 months of work. So really, how much money is Coinbase saving? In my opinion, Coinbase is still ultra risky. There are going to be survivors in the crypto world, and Coinbase definitely could be one of them with the support they have, as long as they're run at an efficient model, which I don't think they're there yet. So again, I'll be paying attention to that. But let's see if we can bring up Coinbase. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I'm going to pull up Discord again, and I'm going to look and do some algorithms on Coinbase, and we'll see where that actually is this morning. Because, I don't have the read on Coinbase until we can figure it out together. So let's pull it up. Oh, I got to add it to the stream. Okay, so let's go down here, back on Discord, back to the command. So I'm going to type in PR. Let's look at the flow sum for Coinbase. Okay. Not enough data for that one. Let's look at the net flow for Coinbase. Let's see if there's enough data there, hopefully. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what do we see on Coinbase? First thing I'm going to notice is that the cost or the premiums for calls, which is this green line, is pretty flat and in negative territory. So that tells me I don't really think Coinbase is going up. Then I'm always looking at the premiums right here and what actually people are doing and paying. And it looks like the premiums for puts have been going up ever since the spike yesterday happened, where I think Coinbase spiked. Where did it spike to yesterday morning? So ever since yesterday morning, they started to sell off Coinbase. Let's just look. And yesterday morning, we spiked all the way up to basically $40 or slightly there under. And then it held pretty good until about 2 o'clock, started to fade the whole day. Looks like it's fading a little this morning. Again, I would be more wary of Coinbase just based on the algorithms. Again, price seems to be going down. Cost for put premiums going up. What I expect to happen is I expect the red line to go up here. I expect the price line to break under, and I expect the call line to stay relatively flat at the bottom. So, yeah, this is telling me you would stay away from Coinbase. We tried flow some. Let's just look at the algo flow for Coinbase. Again, right now it's bearish. We're looking at it. Algo flow versus stock price is still telling me that they should probably meet up somewhere over here, which would be in maybe the $36 range. So again, Coinbase trading at, let's see where we're at pre-market, 37.30. I still think it has more downside. I think it still has another 3%. So although Coinbase is down 3% pre-market, I definitely think we could see another 3%. Let's go here. Let's check out Caterpillar, right? So Caterpillar, another Dow play. So what makes sense with Caterpillar? Again, Caterpillar, I'm looking at the casinos, the airlines. I'm looking at Boeing. I'm looking at things like that. All right, so let's look at net flow for Caterpillar. Let's see if it's in here. And Caterpillar is close to an all-time high. So what are we seeing up here? Prices rebounding a little bit. The cost for calls is higher. The cost for puts is still going down. Again, that would be slightly bullish, but understanding if the market gets sold off today, that Caterpillar will likely go down. If the market is choppy today, then Caterpillar could definitely be somewhat bullish. Is it too late to enter Starbucks puts? Yeah, I would stay away from Starbucks puts. Again, just because I'm looking for it to go down to 103 or even lower doesn't mean that it's going to go down to 103 or lower. Again, Starbucks had inflow like 4 days in a row. It spiked from $98 all the way up to like 106.50. That to me went a little too quick. So it wasn't like I think Starbucks isn't being run well or Starbucks is going straight down. What I was thinking is, shit, this spiked up a little too quick. I'm going to fight momentum with my Starbucks puts, understanding if the market continued to be strong, Starbucks would have been at 109, 110. That position would be worse shit. So again, there's a proper entry for those Starbucks puts, and it was 106.50, 106 and a quarter, 106.30, something like that. Even maybe 105 in the high change. But the fact that we're at 104.74 at the close, and maybe we'll open up around 104.16, it would be a little late to chase, in my opinion. Do I think NFA's any sell-off, meta hitting resistance? All right, so let's check out. I don't really look at Interface Energy, which is ENPH. Again, I look at the XLE energy as a whole, and I look at what oil costs and oil costs per barrel, and then I see what's going on with these different stocks, upgrades, downgrades, and I think we might see a continue of the rotation. I think they're rotating out of healthcare. I think they're rotating out of energy, and they're rotating maybe into financials. Again, financials have a ton of earnings end of week, Bank of America, probably Morgan Stanley, a couple other banks. So let's look at NFAs and let's look at Meta. If I was to look at Meta, let me just do Meta. Let's remember, Meta was 114 when they started giving price target upgrades, went to 118, 124, from 124 back to 113. Now it's at 130. So shit, yeah, I mean, you know, Meta in the past week moved up 2.5% in the last month. You're talking about 6 out of 8 days inflow on Meta. Again, we're going to this side of the chart. You can see the spike. You can see volume isn't that great from any of the last 6 out of 8 days. It's more or less following the market. So yeah, technically, in my opinion, if the market struggles and we go back to the level, and I mentioned this yesterday on the SPY, and again, the SPY was 393 yesterday, and I thought we were going to 382, and I didn't say we're going to 382 yesterday. I said we're going to 382. It might take a day or 2 or 3, and if we go to 382, understanding the next level down is going to be under 380, so that's a possibility. If that happens, Meta will be trading back at 117 or 118, so you're talking about 10-point move, which could be 8%. So it could be spread out over a couple days. Yesterday could have been consolidation. Yesterday could have been a consolidation with a lot of stocks. We ran up on Friday pretty strong. So yesterday could have been like profit taking. Let's remember what happened yesterday. Again, the calls got sold off in the morning. So people took profit and then they started buying put options. And then I actually saw calls out of the money being sold in the afternoon, which tells me those are big institutions. Yes, Romeo is live today. We'll get to your 2 points in a minute. Romeo is going live at 9:15. There should be a link on YouTube, and you could also watch him on Discord. So please join. Romeo's been on fire lately. People are making money. He gives you his exits. He tells you when he's scaling back. He has some terrible jokes, which some people find funny. I find them funny sometimes. Okay, so let's look at NFAs. Let's look at Meta. Let's bring up Discord. Let's check it out. So let's pull that up. Let's go back to Discord, and let's look at Interface Energy. So let's do TR. Let's see if there's a float sum. There might not be enough for ENPH. Hopefully there's enough now. So we'll do TR. Let's look at the net flow for ENPH. Again, there might not be enough volume there to see. Okay, so as I'm looking at NFAs, again, the volume is extremely light, which tells me, you know, I'm really going to stay away from this. Again, the calls are more expensive than the puts. You're seeing the price drop. So again, this isn't really telling me bullish or bearish divergence. I like to see something greater than that. So let's check out a little meta play. Now let's check out a flow sum. That should be enough options on meta to give us the flow sum. Nope, I guess not. Maybe it's too early in the day. So let's check up the net flow for meta as requested, and we'll see where meta is at. Again, it should be more choppiness. Okay, what did we see yesterday when the market started throwing up on themselves? Holy shit, the cost for puts on meta went up significantly. What happened at the same time? The cost for calls went down. What happened to the price? The price significantly dropped. Volume was strong at first, lightening up. So meta, again, could see some choppiness today. I would keep looking at the net flow for meta throughout the morning to see if there's outflow in meta. Again, you're going to look at a lower price. If there's inflow, you could see some type of bounce. So again, one of my trade secrets, and this is how I'm going to leave you. What I like to do is I like to wait until at least 10 a.m. At 10 a.m., I actually use either Webull or moomoo to check out whether there's inflow or outflow on whatever specific stock or ETF, knowing that if there is outflow, wherever the stock price is or the ETF price, if there's outflow and that continues throughout the day, we're going to see a lower price. So I know if I'm holding puts and there's outflow, that likely the price will go down later in the day. So I say to myself, although I can secure good profit, it would be smarter to hold. I did that yesterday with Starbucks. I mentioned that I thought I might ride the elevator, and I was 100% correct. My Starbucks puts spiked in the morning, then kind of faded. And I'm like, I still think my account's going to close at their high end of the day. And lo and behold, Starbucks closed towards the low end. My account was towards the high end. I think I was off maybe 4% from my high, but I think I made, let me just see if I have it up here. Let me just see. Yesterday, I secured 80. Nope, that was that. Nope, 1 week. Yeah, okay, so we're down here. 68% profit. So 68% profit I'm carrying over. That's the market direction today. Again, Romeo is going live at 9:15, which is about 18 minutes. I'm going to drop a quick Discord video with extra details as far as SPY ranges and exact pinpoints. Because understand, when I give a pinpoint on a SPY range, you can go plus or minus about 20 cents from that range. So yesterday I mentioned that we'd likely see support at, what was it, 309.89, and we struggled there. And I said we're likely to see the same thing when we drop down to 390, 389, and 388. At every dollar lower, there tends to be a fight. But understanding the bigger gap was at a lower number, that's why we saw a bigger decline. So again, numbers on the SPY: 389, 387.04, 385.15, 383.20, and 379.50. Write those down. You'll know as we reject certain levels or find support, you can get into calls or puts. With that said, thank you this morning. Please give a thumbs up, make a comment on the side if you like what I do, and please join me tomorrow. Tomorrow being Wednesday, understand on Thursday, 8:25 a.m., going on a little earlier. Why? Because we have CPI numbers come in, and I want to break that down. So even if we see the market skyrocket on Thursday morning pre-market, you'll know, hey, shit, there could be a sell-off. Let's remember Friday's job numbers came in. Job numbers came in stronger, and I said the market should really give up some of its gains. What happened Friday? It ran like hell. What happened Monday? It caught up, and we came back down. So what's likely to happen today? I still think we have more room to come down. I'm going to be paying close attention. I'm not going to fight momentum. If I happen to be wrong, I'll sell my positions, take profit. If I happen to be right, I will continue to hold with rock diamond hands. See you guys later. Thanks for joining me this morning. Again, heading over to Discord.